Joining us now is Randy Clark. Randy's a local resident in Maricopa County, right?
Yes, that's correct.
So I believe you have something to share with us today, a story?
Yeah, sure do. I had an incident with a landlord that was a good friend of, we went to church with him and stuff, and anyway, it ended up not working out, and we moved out, and he cashed a check 6 months later after we wrote the check,
Sure.
which I returned, stop payment. I'm not saying I didn't owe it to him, but we needed to talk about
Sure.
it. Apparently he got really ticked about it, and I guess got a judgment against me, had a process server serve me papers. Actually, it was the U.S. mail, but it was certified.
Really?
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's so I opened it, and it was a blank piece of paper. So I'm like, what's this about? So I've never, like I said, never had papers served to me, so I'm not really sure what's going on here. So I look at the address, and it says, it's a process server name there, and I look them up online, and it says, process server. So I'm like starting to put stuff together. Within 2 days there, before I figured out what was going on, I got papers from the court saying, hey, you missed your court date, failure to appear. We've awarded your landlord $9,800 worth of damages, and he's turned it in as a bad check too, which it wasn't, because
Okay, let me ask you a question on the first envelope you got. You said it was a blank piece of paper.
Yeah.
Didn't say anything?
No, it was intentionally placed in the envelope, folded in half. It's a yellow piece of legal notebook paper.
Yeah. No notes or nothing?
Nothing.
Just an envelope from a process server?
Just to feel like it had enough weight in it to be something in there.
But it didn't tell you anything?
No.
Okay, so then 2 days later you get an official certified letter.
Correct.
And that one has a note on it.
Right. Big note. Failure to appear.
Wow. 2 days after.
Yeah.
They're setting you up.
Yeah, he knew exactly what he was doing. I mean, it was 48 hours before the court date.
So somebody's in cahoots. People are making money here.
Yeah, there's favors going on. It's a business they're running.
So then they billed you $9,000. What was the check? What was the amount of the original check?
$500.
Oh yeah, it figures.
Yeah.
$9,000. All right. So the second letter comes.
Well, I don't get that one either. It's I've never went through this stuff before.
Sure.
But they turned that bad check. I thought it was over at that point. Maybe it's included in the $9,800.
All right.
So it's working in the background. I don't know that. So then I'm just out driving him in a shopping center. I get pulled over, and I said, "Why are you pulling me over for?" And they said, "Well, suspicion." I'm like,
Really?
Suspicion of what? And they said, "Well, you just look suspicious."
No kidding.
Yeah, I was just putting my GPS address in the parking lot. So they just pull up behind me, turn the lights on, and I'm thinking, this is just, a procedure or something like that.
Were you too white or what? Is that why they pulled you over?
Apparently.
God dang it.
Yeah. So, I've never been in trouble in my life, as far as going to jail or never
Sure.
been in the back of a police car.
Okay.
But he told me to step out of the car. I had a warrant for my arrest, and I didn't. It's all was a nightmare after that, as far as my adventure.
Well, give us some facts. What happened? You got taken to the court or jail.
Yeah, well, the courts, I guess the city got it at that point for the check part and processed it, and that's what they issued a warrant and sent it to the last known address, which is one of their ways of making money and causing people to stumble.
Intentionally.
Intentionally, yeah. They're not, I have no problem getting forwarded mail and stuff like this, but they're not going to waste any time trying to hunt you down. And they actually sent it to the house I lived at 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So the very first house I lived in when I moved here.
They don't really try,
No, they didn't try. And so anyway, from there, I went to, drove down to the 4th Avenue jail, and just everything from, your mugshot and just.
So, did you go to court or something first?
No, I was, at that point, it's supposed to be innocent till you're proven guilty.
Right.
But at that point, once you miss your court date,
you forfeit that, I guess.
You're guilty until proven innocent.
Right.
Yeah, all your rights are gone once you have the warrant. And so that's how I ended up in jail.
So you're in jail.
Yeah, I got the side prints, fingerprints, all different sides. Just like a regular felonist,
Right.
Yeah. So
But you hadn't even been through court yet.
no, nothing was saying I was guilty except.
So you get booked in a 4th Avenue, which is a real nice place to stay, I understand.
Yeah, well, I actually got, in my first cell, I guess you go through probably 12 to 15 different cells.
Wow.
They call it the shoe, I guess, from what I
Okay.
understand,
Yeah.
all this terminology.
Prison jail talk.
Yeah. And, but my first cell, I went in, my first experience, never been in jail. It was a real crowded cell, of course, with, people laying in the floors, because they have concrete benches and they have the rebar, metal bars, only enough for a person to sit. So,
Wow.
so they don't want you laying down.
Wow.
So they make it as uncomfortable as possible, making it the air as cold as possible. People are actually chilling and freezing.
Uh-huh.
I look across the way there and I see some, 3 or 4 girls in a room, and they're actually exercising and trying to stay warm. That's how cold it is.
Because they're getting tortured also.
They're getting it's so cold in there. They're actually exercising to stay warm.
Which is ironic, because usually in Maricopa or Arizona, they want to bake you.
Well,
But
that's
they're torturing you with the cold.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so I mean, they want you laying on the benches. They put the bars there so you sleep in the floor if you want to rest.
Amazing.
Yeah, so it's my first experience in that cell. Though, I got actually hyperventilating. I had to actually close my eyes and get my breathing pattern down.
Well, anxiety set in.
Yeah, and I was about ready to black out, and I just got it together. But it was really not a good experience.
So cell to cell to cell.
Yeah, I was handcuffed to 2 guys in front of me, a guy beside me, 2 guys behind me, and we walked around like murderers or something. I don't know.
Yeah. For
Ridiculous.
$500 check.
Yeah, I had to stand in line, naked with 10 other guys, and get my nice, pretty pink underwear and pink socks.
You got the fine wardrobe.
I got the best.
Oh.